Good afternoon. Hey, those love tubers that are out there in YouTube land, I just want to welcome you today. I'll be making weekly videos on Sophia Brings Light, the name of my new channel. Today I wanted to talk about some things that I had talked about on my first video on this channel. One was being a spiritualist, though I call myself a spiritual practitioner. And I wanted to shed some light on what that is and why I call it that. By profession, in the natural world, I am a nurse. So I practice medicine. And I've been a nurse for 30-something years, almost 35 years. And I consider myself a practitioner of the nursing arts. And so being a spiritualist or a spiritual practitioner, I consider myself a practitioner of spiritual arts. So therefore I am into the spiritual aspect of life, and I practice spiritual arts, readings, I call them consultations between me and a client, mentoring, spiritual mentoring. If you have a problem and you need some help with that, you need a mentor or coach. In the natural life, I'm also a life coach also, so coaching you through difficult places, maybe to help you come to the other side of that, to be successful, helping you to manifest living your best life, basically, by using spiritual principles to do that. I also study metaphysics, so I am a metaphysician, meaning, and metaphysics is the study of other than what is natural, metaphysics, everything outside of our natural world order, which is basically bringing it back down to the spiritual side. So with all of that, my goal is to help you manifest, meaning bring forth that which is beneficial for you to live your best life. So I use these spiritual principles to help you manifest and to live your best life. And when you see people, spiritualists and stuff, hopefully what they're doing is helping you to manifest, to live your best life. And I think on my first video, I went over what would you look for in a spiritualist or a spiritual practitioner, as I like to call and to refer to other people. You want somebody that is honest. You want somebody who will tell you the truth, whether you want to hear that or not, but what it is that they perceive to be the truth about whatever situation you're coming to see them with. That is the utmost. You want somebody that you feel a good energy from, and that you believe that together, as your spiritualist or your spiritual practitioner then becomes your partner in manifesting what it is that you want. So you want somebody that you feel like you really could work with, because your energies match and you have this common goal. You come into agreement so that you can meet and manifest a certain goal. And so you want somebody that really sees things eye to eye with you. So that explains that part of what I do. And so I come into partnership with you in order for you to manifest or realize some of the dreams that you want to manifest. You want to increase your financial gain. You want to find a lover. You want to, I don't know, bring a lover back into your life. Those are the things that we work together on. Caution you about bringing other people back into your life. I help people elevate, but I do not help people manipulate. Because when you manipulate someone to get them back into your life, say it's a past lover or whatever, and you're doing something to manipulate them to get back into your lives, that is not lasting. And ultimately, the person feels like something ain't quite right. They don't feel comfortable with it. They know that something is not quite right. You naturally want them to come back to you. And there are ways, and sometimes it's just no. Sometimes people come into your life for a reason and a season, and the season is up. And sometimes we have to realize that that season is up. They came into your life to maybe teach you something, to help you get to another level. But their season for being with you is up. And sometimes as a spiritual practitioner, it is for me to guide you to that place where, like, this is not, it's over, you know? Sometimes people will take your money and try to tell you that they're going to be able to do this, and it may last for a short moment, but it is not lasting. And a lot of times people are just taking your money. And if you meet somebody like that, you might as well just do it yourself. Why pay somebody? And some of them are charging outrageous amounts of money to, you know, bring your lover back. And nothing, you know, if there's a mutual love there and they want to come back, it can happen. But if there is a place where they have moved on, they don't want you back, you know, sometimes we have to accept that that is life and that is where things are. And I'm all about telling people the truth and being real with people about where things are and what is real, what can be done and what shouldn't be done, and when not to manipulate somebody. You want somebody to love you and for you to be able to reciprocate that love. If you're trying to bring back a lover that didn't love or respect you in the first place, the universe and God is just taking that person out of your life for something better. So when you bring them back, you have blocked the blessing of somebody that will truly love you coming into your life. So, and to me, as a spiritual practitioner, my job is to help you come to a place. Hey, I'm gonna sip on my tea while we're doing this. Actually, this is hot chocolate. I'm gonna sip on my hot chocolate while we're having this conversation, just like two people, you know, like you in my living room with me, and we're having this conversation. So sometimes, you know, people they've either outgrown them, outgrown you, or you have outgrown them sometimes, and it's not the best situation for you to bring them back, because you're just gonna go through another cycle of misuse and abuse. So before you try to bring somebody back in your life, really look at the situation and say, and if you feel like there's a possibility, you know, you guys still love each other, you just need that other chance, that's one thing. But if they have moved on, they have another woman, they have another wife, so they have moved on, and that relationship is gone, it's dead, and you need to move on. Because God probably has something better for you, and you're blocking that by bringing something back that the time is up. Like I said, everybody comes into your life for a reason and a season. So that's one thing. I just kind of wanted to talk about being a spiritual practitioner and what that is, and how, you know, one of the things I do is help you develop you. I am 60 years old. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it or anything. I've spent a long time in spirituality and in spiritual practice. I've been a spiritual practitioner for a very long time, you know. I've seen things come and go, and situations and trends come and go. But what I've learned mostly is that you want somebody to come alongside of you. And what I do is come alongside you as a partner in your manifestation, as I was saying earlier. And when I come alongside you, I am here for you to live your best life. So sometimes in order for you to take 2 steps forward, you may have to take a step back just to look at where you need to go. What do I need to do to work on me? And as I was trying to say, I spent a lot of time checking out the woman in the mirror, which is myself, to come to growth. And I still spend a lot of time. I spend a lot of time working on me. And once I've worked on me to I'm the best version of myself, and my mind is at its, for this stage of the game is at a certain place, I'm able to manifest at a higher level when I spend time working on me, because I present myself to the world when I have worked on myself at a higher level of functioning. So what I'm going to attract to myself is a higher level of people, situations, things just come to you when when you take off the junk and pull the junk from inside of you. You become like a brass new shiny penny, and you attract a lot of really spectacular things in your life. So my goal is to help you to be able to attract that best for yourself, because you are the best version of yourself. So when you are the best version of yourself, you're able to attract the best of everything to yourself. We all have moments when we kind of dip or flow or whatever, but ultimately the goal is for you to attract what is best for you in order for you to continue to be the best version of yourself. The other thing, so I wanted to talk about being a spiritual practitioner, but I also said I'm an alchemist, and I would like to say I study alchemy and I practice alchemy. And so some people will be like, what is alchemy? Well, alchemy is, and I'm going to go from a book that I read a lot, and I read a lot of books, trust me, it's unbelievable the amount of books I read in a month. But alchemy is the study, or it is the study of transmutation. So it's transforming. It's the art of transforming something from one thing to the other. Back in medieval times, and even beyond that, biblical times, alchemists studied or tried to transform different metals into gold. Well, in modern day alchemy, you are trying to and it's different kinds of alchemy. I'm a spiritual alchemist. So what I try to do is transform myself and help others to transform to the best and highest version of ourselves. Because when we function from that level, it's like we become a divine magnet to pull the best for us to us. So that is alchemy. And why should anyone even study alchemy? To me, you should study because you want to be the best version of yourself. And you have to transmute or transform some things in yourself. We all have things in ourselves that would keep us from being the best version of ourselves, that would pull us down if we would allow that to be. So it's a lot of times about transforming emotions, that negative thoughts and all of that, to transform them into positive thoughts so that you can come and go to that next level. Transforming depression into happiness or joy, transforming doubt in fear into confidence, and knowing that you're a confident, able-bodied person, able to accomplish whatever you will on the earth. Transforming a poverty mindset into a mindset of abundance and wealth. That is, and sometimes we have to do things physically to allow our mind to grasp and see that can happen. So sometimes I do things, candles, money jars, different things. I'm not worshiping these things. I am using these things as tools to help me to see how I can manifest, and just to bring my mindset to a place where I know that I can transform this into something else. So that is kind of explaining in a simple, basic level of transformation. And I did say that there's different types of alchemy, spiritual alchemy, because that's what I practice, psychological, practice some of that. That is dealing with the psychological problems you may have and transforming them to be the best version of yourself. There's artistic alchemy. We see that in films, filmmakers making movies that help us think and help people transform maybe in the end of the movie. Different art that, makes you think, even art or writing or books that transform an elemental thought. When you think through that book and come to the end of the book, the author has taken you to a place where you're like, oh, I want to achieve that because this is possible now that that idea has been brought into my mind. And some of the movies like The Fifth Element, The Matrix, all of these were, the Da Vinci Code, were kind of movies and stuff that showed alchemy, that artistic alchemy that transformed thought in the way people think about things. It even made people question, is this true? What they've been telling me, is that true? I want to come out of the matrix, because a lot of things we've been fed to live in this box and to go along, to get along. But a lot of things we've been fed in our past, even from our parents, even though they meant well, they were fed things. And so at some point you have to come to yourself and say, is this really true? It doesn't make sense. So you have to come out of the matrix and believe that whatever doesn't add up, if 1 and 1 doesn't add up to 2, and sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it can be different ways to add that up. But you have to come at a certain point in your life where you have to say, what they've been teaching me, it does not make sense. It doesn't mesh. And so when you reach that point, you begin to transform because you're thinking at a higher level. What people say, you're beginning to awaken and come to, and I help people in that awakening. I feel like once I've awakened, it is my job to help somebody else, to pull them when they begin to question, what they've been taught in religion and school and all of that. When they begin to question whether that is right or true, sometimes you just need somebody to walk you through that process. And I feel like I'm one of those. I'm still walking through the process. I may be a little further on the path than some people, and some people may be a little further than me. But I feel like, and that's the purpose of some of my YouTube, is to help us all reach that level where we're at the best version of ourselves. Then there's social alchemy. When, people are trying to transform social agendas and socially, like in the 60s, and even though I was a child when these happened, but I remember a lot of this, the social change, that was alchemy, the social process that happened when Black people changed things, and they didn't accept that they couldn't be able to vote, or that the lives that we were given, that was all we had, and we had to fight to live in certain neighborhoods and whatever. But for us to progress, we had to fight for that we could go to school, any school that we chose to do. And if we just accepted what the society was trying to feed us, we wouldn't have transformed some things. So there is that. Then there's practical alchemy, and that just deals with a lot of making things, oils, tinctures, compounds, elixirs. That is what that, and then there's therapeutic, and I also practice that alchemy. Things such as, I am a Reiki master, and I'm working on, I think in pretty soon, a few months, I should be a Tai Chi master. Just using these things, working with energy and helping people come to a place where they are therapeutically in a place of harmony, transmuting or transforming all the anxiety we take in from day to day and transforming that to relaxation and a stress-free living, learning to do that. And it's a lot of the modern holistic practices, Chinese medicine, aromatherapy. These are all alchemy or therapeutic alchemy processes, or arts that help people reach a level of holism. And holism is, your body functioning at the highest form and the highest healthy form of that is possible for you. So, just wanted to go over some of those things, because sometimes I really believe we put words out there, I do this, I do that, but it's sometimes great to stop and explain those words so that we get there. To me, one of the basic components of alchemy is to be able to quiet the mind. And so that would be meditation. And just through meditating and quieting your mind, and it's not saying don't let thoughts come in. It's saying don't let those thoughts control you. You know, you just allow them to go and move on. They come, they go. And once you quiet your mind and quiet your being, you're able to receive a lot of knowledge, and you're able to learn how to quiet yourself and search, because in order to transform an emotion, say you're very angry and you need to come to a place of calm so that you can speak with wisdom, you have to learn how to transform that anger into calmness and then wisdom so that you don't do anything stupid, you know. And in the way that you start to learn how to transform those type of emotions is by first starting at the process of just being, you know, and knowing how that feels, then being quiet and knowing how that feels, then listening to the spirit within you and learning to follow that, because so much that wellspring of knowledge and understanding and wisdom begins with you. It's what God pours into you. And yes, I do believe in God, creator of all. I don't see God in a form, you know, because I feel like to put God in a form would be to put God in a box, but I see him as a living, energetic being, the all-knowing mind of God, and we are all one with that God. Just so that you know, because even with a spiritual practitioner, spiritualist, whatever you want to call them, you want to know who are they connected to, because in order to, my power source is from God, creator of all. That's my God. That is where I get my knowledge and wisdom from. When I'm quiet and commune with him, I get divine knowledge and wisdom in order that I can pour that out to someone else, you know, through, some call it prophecy, intuition. I have a strong sense of that, being an empath. He's taught me how to use these gifts to help myself and others. So I just wanted to kind of go into some of these things so that basically I could be able to help anybody that needs help. You can reach me through my page. My email is on there, but I will say that it's mcdowelllinda14@yahoo.com or sophiabringslight@gmail.com is one of the ways that you can reach me. Hit me up on Facebook under Linda McDowell through the messenger, and I'd be willing to talk to you and see how, or if there is any way that I can help you. Basically, on this channel, I am going through a spiritual journey, and I feel like I've been on this journey. Like I said, gonna sip my tea. I've been on this spiritual journey for a long time, 20-something years, maybe even longer than that, not really sure, but it's been quite a while. And on this spiritual journey, I have had ups and downs. I've been all into it sometimes, and sometimes I've just grown away from it and had to come back to it. But through the ebb and flow of all of this, I'm also learning, and as I go, I'm sharing and helping. Part of the name that I chose for this channel is Sophia Brings Light. Sophia meaning wisdom. So what I'm really saying is wisdom brings light and understanding, or overstanding, as I heard somebody say. Because sometimes when you say understanding, that's somebody standing over you, giving you the understanding. But overstanding is that you're standing on your own and you really begin to see and hear and feel. And as I'm on this journey and as I'm receiving knowledge, I will be sharing what I can, how I can. I'm also on YouTube to learn. Sometimes there are some great YouTubers out here that I learn from, but most of the knowledge I receive is from the divine creator himself or through books. I read a lot and I enjoy reading. And I think there is a reason that in the word it says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. And we do sometimes. So I encourage you to read, to get some understanding, to research even what I say or anybody says. I did want to say that I got a lot of the information, and I want to, when I share information, if I've gotten it somewhere else, I want to be able to tell you where I got that. There is this book which I've been reading, and I've read lots of books on alchemy, but this breaks it down to the lowest common denominator so that you really can understand it. And I kind of like how they do it, though I don't like how they have those books for dummies. But this is what this is called, Alchemy for Dummies. Basically, that is the name of the book. It's The Complete Idiot's Guide to Alchemy. And it's by Dennis William Hawk. Like I said, I've read other books, lots of books on alchemy, but this one just breaks it down so simply that it is. And I suggest you know, go ahead and get that so you can kind of learn more about that. Well, this is the end of this video. Thank you for coming along and being with me on this chit chat as I go from one place to the other. That's kind of like how I do it sometimes. Come along with me as we just talk. You in my living room with me. We are just talking like two friends, which I feel like my YouTube people that do happen to listen to me. I just started this channel, so I really don't have a lot of followers, and I really don't care if I do. YouTube is a creative outlet for me, and sometimes on some of the clients that I have, I ask them to check out some of my videos just so that they can get a sense of who I am and whether I am the person that they want to work with, you know. And if I'm not, I am good about, I try to learn other people and other spiritual practitioners that I know, so that if maybe we don't work well together, I'm sorry, my cat is over there, that I can refer them to somebody else that may be there. Because I think it's so important that your energies mix and will work well together. Well, and I hope you have some tea. I hope you're sipping your tea and minding your business, because I stay in my own lane. I think that's the best thing to do. Try not to throw no tea or shade at anybody else. Sometimes though there are a lot of people I love on YouTube, there is a lot of stuff going on YouTube that I'm just like, really? Really? Do we have to act? Because I feel like your spiritual practitioner should also be professional. And I do want to speak on that a little bit before I go. I keep saying I'm going and I have something else. But I feel like your spiritual practitioner should be a professional. You know, as a nurse, I have to come to you as a professional. And I feel like you should try to get somebody who comes off very professional. You know, I know this sounds very, how do they dress? How do they live? If you're going to somebody for love, do they have a loving relationship? You know, how do they present themselves? Do they present themselves in a, you know, a professional manner? You know, some of the things I see, some of them are I see some people very professional that I would hire myself if I got into, and then I see some people like, no. And the reason I wouldn't hire you, because you don't come off very professional to me. You're cussing, you're tearing people down, you always got something negative to say. And you know, we all cuss, we might say a word or two, but everything out of your mouth is a cuss word. To me, that shows that you haven't evolved a lot. You know, and I'm saying, like, everybody may say a cuss word or two. I don't have a problem with that. But when every word out of your mouth is a cuss word, I don't feel like you've evolved. You've not reached that goal yet. And I'm gonna say that the real professionals, they not on YouTube all the time. Even for me, I feel like now it's time to come out, even though I've been doing this for 20 years. But trust me, it's some people out here that they would not be on YouTube, and they are the real deal. You know, it just is what it is. I am a real professional. I've been doing this for a long time. I will say some things on YouTube, and some things just does not belong on YouTube. It is what it is. Some things are secrets that came from my family that I will never share in public or on YouTube. And trust me, I come from a family of the real deal. So it is what it is. And you don't have to brag about that. It is what it is. Have a very, very blessed day. Be you. Be beautiful. Be powerful. Be who you are. And that is powerfully you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.